If your makeup bag is a bit of a hot mess of brushes and sponges and tools you have but you might not be using, this morning we're going to simplify things for you. Here to help walk us through the basic beauty tools and the brushes, the only ones that you really need, how to use them, is our beauty expert, Steph Signati. Good to have you back with us here.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here again.
You always help us streamline, but to also look our best.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, tool number one that we need to have, and you may have this but not be using it right, is the Beauty Blender.
Correct, yes. Now, Beauty Blender is a brand that kind of popularized this shape of sponge. However, a lot of brands have created equivalents. So this is the Sephora brand full coverage sponge. You can get this at Sephora for $15. It's best used, in my opinion, a little bit damp. So I like to run it under the sink, squeeze it out so it's not dripping, but it's damp. And then I like to put my foundation on the back of my hand. The heat from your skin warms it up a little bit. It makes it easier to blend.
So do you put it on with the Beauty Blender? Because I will put foundation on and then try to blend.
Now that's an option. It's really up to you, but my preference is to put it on my hand first to help warm it up, which makes it more blendable.
And do you dot it on?
Yes, so I like to dot it on around the center of my face first, and then blend outwards. But if you do have somewhere you want more coverage, you can focus on those areas as well.
Okay, so this is a good one to have. The second one, I love, we've been just doing this because it's like the softest thing I've ever felt.
Beautiful.
These are called Kabuki Brushes. And you use these not for anything wet, but just for dry.
Correct. So these are my favorite kind of powder brushes. They're a little bit more of a luxurious equivalent to a more traditional fluffy powder brush. There are more inexpensive alternatives to this, but this is the Makeup Forever version. You can get this for $68 at Sephora.
Which, if at home you're thinking sounds expensive, for Kabuki brushes, I've seen them go well over $100.
Yes.
So this is a good deal.
Absolutely, and it's a great tool. It's beautiful, and it will give you good results.
Why do you like this stuff better than the big fluffy powder brushes that we're used to seeing?
I like the denser tool a little bit better. I find it blends smoother, it applies a bit smoother. I find sometimes with the fluffier brushes, you can get a very inconsistent look. It is so beautiful.
It's very relaxing. All right, I'm gonna put that one down, and I like this not just because it's 2-in-1, but because it really is useful.
Very. This is one of the most useful brushes you can have in your kit. So one end is this more angled side, and this tool is sold as an eyebrow brush, so you can use it for filling in your brow. That's the most common use. But this angled side is also very, very useful for smudging out eyeliners or applying shadow in a very smooth and precise way. And then the other end is this kind of spoolie tool, which is great for brushing through your brows before you apply product, so that they don't get gunky and full and kind of messy.
Listen, you cannot have gunky brows.
No,
it's a big no-no. Eyeshadow brushes, we seem to have like 50 of them in our bag. How many of them do we actually need?
So you can use as many as you want. It's up to you, but I find you only really need 2 brushes. And you can create a whole look with 1 shadow and 2 brushes very, very easily. So the first one I like to call a flat shadow brush. Every brand has a different name for it, but I find that's a pretty easy way to describe it. And this is best used, you get the shadow on one of the flat sides, and then I like to just kind of pack it on, and you almost want to push it into your skin. It's not ideal to do these vigorous back and forth motions because you're going to get fallout, it's going to fly everywhere, and it's going to look a little bit messier. So I like to apply it first in a nice pushing motion on the lid. I like to start in the front and move my way backwards. And then, with the next tool, I like to call these blending brushes. They're kind of this domed, fluffy shape. I like to go around the lid through the crease, which is that part that's that indented area of your eye, and move in circular motions.
So you do it in a circle, not in a sort of back and forth.
Now you can do the back and forth. I call that a windshield wiper motion. And that's fine too, but I just find in my experience, the rounder motion creates a smoother blend.
Do you use this to apply the crease shadow or just to blend it?
Just to blend it. So I only use, personally, the shadow that is on my lid to blend, but if you want to do a little bit more of an interesting look, you can pick up a lighter shadow on the blending brush and apply that directly with this while blending, and it'll create a nice multi-tonal, multi-dimensional appearance. But you can keep it simple as well.
To keep all of these brushes working in optimal fashion, we do need to clean them. How often does that have to happen?
Okay, well, let's be real. Nobody's cleaning them every day, as ideal as that would be. But I would say if you're cleaning your face brushes and your sponge at least once a week, that's best because these things do build up with bacteria. It's important to keep them clean. Eye brushes, I would say once a month is safe, but make sure that you're not keeping it full of product when you're applying new stuff as well.
Sure, and you can use what, just a gentle shampoo?
Yeah, I like to use those big, huge Tresemme bottles when they're on sale. They're sometimes like $4, and I like to wash them in the sink in my hand and then leave them to dry in a towel. Easy.
All good tips. I can go dump out half my makeup bag now.
Yeah, there you
Steph,
go.
thank you so much. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.